Right, let's dive straight into this explainer. Look, when we think of the Taj Mahal, our minds instantly go to that legendary romance of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan and his wife Mumtaz Mahal. But today, we're going way beyond that famous love story. We're going to uncover the engineering marvels, the brilliant science, and the hidden truths of a 400-year-old masterpiece that, honestly, still baffles modern architects.
Now, it's true, this place was born from a devastating loss back in 1631 when Mumtaz Mahal tragically passed away, giving birth to their 14th child. 19 years of marriage, gone just like that. They say the emperor was absolutely shattered, his grief literally frozen in stone. But looking at the sheer scale of what actually followed, we really have to ask, is this iconic structure merely a symbol of grief, or is it something much, much more complex?
Because on the surface, sure, you have this perfectly symmetrical monument of love. But if you peel back that beautiful exterior, you expose a totally different hidden reality. We're talking cutting-edge 17th century engineering, restricted underground chambers, and some seriously mind-bending optical illusions.
Which brings us to Section 1, Unmatched Engineering and Construction.
To truly wrap your head around this, you have to step back into a 17th century world. No computers, no cranes, no GPS. The sheer human scale here is just staggering. They mobilized over 20,000 artisans, architects, calligraphers, and stonecutters. The absolute best minds from across Persia, Central Asia, and the entire Mughal Empire, all brought together.
And to move those massive materials hundreds of kilometers without modern trucks or paved highways, well, they had to rely on sheer animal power. Think about this. A dedicated fleet of over 1,000 elephants was used to haul incredibly heavy blocks of stone all across the country. Just a massive logistical puzzle.
And it wasn't a quick job either. It took 22 grueling years, starting in 1632, just to complete this colossal vision. The chief architect, widely credited with shaping this whole thing, is Ustad Ahmad Lahori. For over 2 decades, thousands of hands worked tirelessly under his direct command.
Now, as you can imagine, all of this labor came at a staggering cost. Back in the 17th century, this project ran them around 32 million Mughal rupees. If you tried to build the exact same thing today, with the same hand-carved detailing and that completely unreplicable human skill, experts consider it literally priceless. You simply couldn't find the traditional artisans to recreate this level of perfection today. It's a lost art.
This whole vision required a massive, multinational supply chain. They used a highly specialized inlay technique called pietra dura, seamlessly embedding 28 different types of precious and semi-precious stones into the walls. I mean, we're talking turquoise brought in from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, sapphire from Sri Lanka, all set perfectly into flawless Makrana white marble sourced right from Rajasthan. The whole shebang.
Let's move on to Section 2, the magic of architecture and science.
This is where it gets really wild. Throughout a single day, the building basically shapeshifts. That Makrana marble has an incredibly high purity of calcium carbonate, which means it reflects light rather than absorbing it. So, in the morning, it takes on this soft pink hue. At noon, it's a blinding brilliant white. By evening, it glows golden. And if you see it under a full moon, it emits this surreal blue-white luminescence. It's like an accidental masterpiece of shifting colors.
And the builders employed some truly mind-blowing precision to pull all this off. First, for earthquake safety, those 4 iconic minarets actually lean slightly outwards. Why? Because if a disaster strikes, they fall away from the main tomb, not onto it. Genius, right? Second, the structure features a double dome, a massive 73-meter outer dome for that majestic scale, covering a smaller inner dome for perfect interior proportions. And third, to trick the eye, the beautiful Quranic calligraphy actually increases in size as it goes up the walls, so the letters appear perfectly uniform when you're looking up from the ground.
Next up is Section 3, the 400-year-old foundation. Because let's be real, absolutely none of that spectacular beauty matters if the massive building just sinks into the soft, shifting soil of the Yamuna River. To solve this, the builders utilized this incredible well foundation. They dug deep, circular wells and packed them with stones and a very special lime mortar. And fascinatingly, this mortar undergoes chemical changes that actually make it stronger over the centuries. It has literally outlasted many modern cements.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, Unsolved Secrets and Debunked Myths.
This is probably my favorite part, the hidden rooms. See, when you walk into the main hall, you see two gorgeous, highly ornate tombs, but those are just symbolic cenotaphs. Following Islamic burial traditions for simplicity and privacy, the actual unadorned graves of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal are hidden directly beneath the main floor in a restricted underground chamber. It's kept securely locked and maintained by the Archaeological Survey of India.
Now, you've probably heard this one. It's arguably the most famous, romantically horrific story about the Taj Mahal. People say Shah Jahan had the hands of all the artisans amputated so they could never ever build anything this beautiful again. But is there actually any truth to it?
Well, we have to look at the facts. Historians widely agree that there is absolutely zero solid evidence of hands being severed. Instead, it was more of a metaphorical chopping of hands. The workers signed a strict, very well-paid contractual agreement binding them to never build a similar structure. So yeah, no literal mutilation, just an ironclad 17th century non-compete clause.
Moving on to another highly debated topic, and one that surfaces quite frequently in modern political discourse today: the claim that the monument was originally built over a pre-existing Hindu temple.
Looking objectively at official archaeological records, the Archaeological Survey of India and mainstream historians maintain a very clear stance here. There is no widely accepted archaeological evidence of a prior temple on the site. All documented historical accounts and court records show the Taj Mahal strictly as a 17th century Mughal construction.
And here's another incredibly popular myth for you. It suggests that Shah Jahan intended to build an exact mirror image tomb for himself across the river, made entirely of black marble, and connected to the White Taj by a bridge. Sounds amazing, right?
Well, this idea actually gained traction from the writings of a 17th century European traveler named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. However, there is no solid archaeological evidence that a black Taj was ever in the works. The real story is far less romantic and actually pretty heartbreaking. In 1658, Shah Jahan was overthrown and imprisoned in Agra Fort by his own son Aurangzeb. He spent the final 8 years of his life under house arrest, only able to gaze at his magnificent masterpiece from a distant, lonely window.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Modern Threats Hovering Over the Taj.
Returning to the present day, there is this tragic irony at play. We have a 17th century structure built with such incredible genius that it effortlessly withstood centuries of earthquakes and shifting riverbank soil. Yet today, it's actively battling 21st century industrial pollution. Air pollution, specifically sulfur dioxide and dust, are reacting with that pristine stone, causing a yellowing effect known as marble cancer. On top of that, dropping moisture levels in the Yamuna River are actually threatening the wood in its ancient foundations. Seeing how a single human emotion, profound grief, was transformed through such astonishing engineering and artistry into this timeless wonder, it really shifts your perspective. The Taj Mahal isn't just stones and marble, it's a testament to human dedication. And looking at it, we are left to wonder, what kind of enduring legacy is our modern world building today? Will anything we create last 400 years and still take the world's breath away?